Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design, and again I'm so glad you could join me here today. I have a really fun little project share and tutorial that I think you're going to love. This is made with Authentique's new Frontier collection, and oh my goodness, I love this. I've made this sweet little 5 by 5 3/4 folio. This is it's kind of like an accordion folio, and layered up the front cover with beautiful images and patterns from the Frontier collection. I used the 12 by 12 individual sheets. I love the textured cardstock. I just love the way it feels and looks. So as you can see, this is super dimensional. This has a 1/2 inch spine, and I've covered that with this really fun denim stitching sticker from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. And then I've layered up all these gorgeous little birdie flowers over on the side with some bold red check ribbon and burlap string from Really Reasonable Ribbon. This is a true vintage button from one of my flea market finds. It even has the original sewing thread still in it, which is so cool. And then a little picket fence, wooden picket fence, and these little rusty farm tool implements. So cute. And then of course I spattered all of the paper in the finished with a little diluted walnut ink, and just brushed the flowers, dry brushed the flowers with a little picket fence distress paint, just to add that little extra layer of dimension and shabby chic. Look at these fun paper curls that come with the little birdie. I just love those. So, and the sweet little beaded foliage pieces. Anyway, the folio opens like this, and it's super dimensional, so it's a little hard to show. But on the top part of the card, I've created a little flip element, and the first piece is this magnetized 4x4 photo folio. So you can get 2 4x4 photos in here, and it's got a little, I always love to hear that, a little magnetic click. And I hold this shut. This is one of the stickers from the sticker sheet, and it just has just enough sticky to hold this closed, but not so much that it's going to tear the paper. And to do that, I just tap it once or twice on my clothing to reduce the tackiness. So then this opens out. Here's one of the gorgeous 3x4 images with some stacked postage stamps, and then a pocket with a couple of little journaling cards, and of course you can fit small 3x4 photos in here. Look at this adorable fussy cut banner there's this wonderful page in the collection that is all borders and banners and cut aparts. I just love the way they did this collection. It is so fantastic. Same with this. This is a border strip from that cut apart page. Then down here on the bottom, I've created a little accordion pull-out, and this measures, and this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. This measures 4.5 by 5, and it's held with a ribbon closure. So you just untie this, and on the top is my little gift card holder. Room to write a note here, and then 3 little chocolates tucked inside. So that's kind of fun. And then this page pulls out this way. Pocket, another little photo folio. Pocket. This, I just did the border strip. This is such a quick, easy way to make a fun little shallow pocket. You just glue the sides and the bottom, and you've got an instant pocket. And these are cut aparts from the collection. I just adore those. And then, whoops, my chocolate's falling out here. If I did this again, I would probably do a magnetic closure here, because while the ribbon holds it closed, when it's shut, it's a little unwieldy when it's open. But anyway, this then opens out this way. Another one of these fun little pockets made with cut apart border strips. And then this is another little flip page here, a tip-in. And then this pulls out a pocket, another pocket. And here you could put photos in here. You could add photo mounts in here. And then flips this way, another pocket with another little cut apart. And then I made this little file folder with some dies decorated it with cut apart, fussy cut images, and then in here you could stick just little mementos, and of course you could put more photos in this pocket. So this is the basic design. I know it looks complicated, but I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how easy it is to make. And I'll be back in just a moment to show you how to build the base of this super fun Authentique Frontier folio. Okay, so let's get started with this little tutorial. You're going to need the 12 by 12 papers from the Frontier collection and the sticker sheet. If you buy the collection kit, it won't be these textured papers, it'll be the smooth papers, but the patterns will be the same, everything will be the same, and as a bonus you get the sticker sheet in with. So we're going to use these. I'll just show you the patterns really quickly. I love this collection. Look at these images, just gorgeous, right? So this is the one that I used on the front of the folio, and I just fussy cut very quickly around the bottom and the top. And then all this cut apart page might be my favorite thing in the whole collection, because look at all these great borders, banners, focal sentiments, little journaling cards. I just love it. Barbed wire paper with horses, chicken wire paper. Look, another just phenomenal cut apart page. This is loaded. This collection is loaded. And then I love this floral, this wonderful stripe. And so that's just a quick look. And then I built the base using the Authentique Spectrum cardstock. I love this stuff. It's a great weight. It cuts really clean and it folds beautifully. So I used this blue in my first folio, but for this tutorial, this is, hold on, I saved the names. This is Tricycle Red 1 and Tricycle Red 2. And this will coordinate beautifully with this collection as well, so it doesn't really matter. But look, this comes in a huge pad. You get 48 sheets of really high quality cardstock in one of these pads. So that's my public service announcement. Now we'll go ahead and get started. So for the front, you've got this 12 by 12 piece of the Spectrum cardstock, and you're just going to very quickly cut a 5 by 12 strip. Very simple. And then bring in your scoring tool, and with your stylus, you're going to score at 5 3/4, 6 1/4, and that gives you this 1/2 inch spine, and that gives you the room that you need inside to add all the little flaps and flips and folds. So that's the basic, really easy, right? So then on the inside, with the Tricycle 2 paper, or Tricycle 1, I forget which one this is, but anyway, it's the Tricycle 1 or 2, you're going to create this little accordion element. So to do that, you're going to place this on your scoring tool, and you're going to score each one of these at, I think I did 4 1/4. Let me just double check myself. Aha, I did 4 1/2. So 4 1/2, and then 9, and then just do the same thing here. 4 1/2 and 9. And then you're just going to accordion fold this very simply. Crease it with your bone folder. So you've got this little flap left over here, and that's exactly what you want. So accordion fold. This one you want to go like this. So it's just basically folding and scoring paper. Sorry, I did that backwards. Because you want this to pull out this way, and then it will also flap that way. Okay, so now you've got your 2 fold-out mechanisms made. And you've got one that opens to the left, and you've got one that opens to the right. So now you've got these 2 flaps on the back. And you're just going to join these, fold these into each other. I'll show you that again. You're just going to overlap these and then fold your mechanisms into one another like a little book. And then go on the back and just add some adhesive to hold these in place. And just burnish that down. And at this point, you see, you've got your mechanisms that open exactly the way you want them to, and you've got your center piece with two flaps on either side, and they fold into one another. Now, flip it over to the back side. I like to use score tape for this. Take a 1/2-inch piece of score tape, run it right along the center of that. Remove, well, no, don't remove yet, because this is how I do this to make sure I have enough. This is a burlap center stitch, I think, from Really Reasonable Ribbon, but I'll have a supply list at the end. Bring this around and go ahead and tie your bow before you cut it. That way you're sure that you've cut enough. See, like I think that needs to be a little longer. So I'm gonna just add a little more. I would much rather have too much ribbon and have to trim than not have enough ribbon and end up having to start from scratch. So just tie your bow. And I know this looks backwards because we haven't glued it to the back yet, but this is the way I like to do it to make sure that I have what I need. Just going to adjust this. That looks great. And then just trim the tails. Leave enough so that it's easy to retie. Then just slip this down a little bit. Remove that liner tape. Get this straight. Burnish that down, and then this mechanism is going to be adhered in the center of the bottom panel. So add your adhesive at this point, whatever one you want to use, to the back. And I always run some along the ribbon as well. And then just get just below your fold, so you're not going to interfere with the ability to fold, and burnish that down. And now you can see this pulls out to the left, this pulls out to the right, and there's your mechanism. Isn't that cool? And they just fold into one another. Then you just come back and you add your panels of designer paper to this, and that's your little accordion folio. So let me prep the pieces for this upper part and I'll be right back. Okay, so to add the little flap page to the top half of the folio, you want to cut a piece, another piece of this spectrum, and you've got leftover. So cut it to 4.5 by 5, and then just put it on your scoring tool and just score a 1/2 inch flap, and just burnish that. Then bring in your base, and you're going to adhere this right along this edge. Keep it right even with the edge, and I kind of run my finger like this, and you want it centered as much as possible, top and bottom. And then there's your flap. So your designer paper will be cut to fit. Then for this little guy right here, you're going to cut your paper 4 1/4 inches by 8.5, and you're just going to score it on the long side. to make two 4 1/4 inch squares. And this is just so simple, I'm not even going to demo. You can figure out just by listening to me. I add my magnet here, and then stick another magnet to it, add a magnet here, and then you know that they'll be placed, and then you just cover it with designer paper, center it, and glue it over your flap element. Couldn't be easier. The only thing I did here was add just a little bit of the designer, a little bit of the designer paper to the back side so everything looks finished. But that's it basically, and then you just go in and decorate it. This is just a simple little, you know, cut and fold made with scraps to hold those little chocolates, and then that just is adhered on the front of your folio, or you can leave that out and just make this completely a photo folio. That's up to you. That's completely your decision. But as you can see, this is not complicated, and then you just dress it up with your beautiful Authentique Frontier designer papers, and you've got a gorgeous gift. Wouldn't this be great for Mother's Day? I just think it's beautiful. It would also be great for a gardener, or if you had someone who was doing a 4-H project, this would be a wonderful way to record that. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope I shared some tips and tricks that you can use in your own crafty adventures. I'm Kathy by Design, and I'm going to go get my craft on.